Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Mercurial Sarah, and I will be reading tarot cards for the week or things that you should know for the week ahead based off of your rising sign. And people always comment, literally every single video, there is a comment that says, should I be looking at my rising sign? Should I be looking at my moon sign or my sun sign? And I am here to tell you that you can look at whatever sign you choose to look at. Usually, honestly, I would go from rising, moon, and then sun because it goes from like most personal to least like most like relatable to who you are, and then to the other ones that are like in that way. So as you can tell, this Mercury retrograde is really messing me up. Let's get started with Aries. Aries for the week ahead. Again, the ball is in Aries court right now. Because the North Node is over there. The North Node is the creator of time. The North Node is showing where humanity is headed. It's kind of like where the sun is guiding us in a way, because this is like an ecliptic point. So Aries has lots of power, motivation, drive at this moment in time right now. So this is the card that we get for Aries. Like I said, that's funny, right? Looking ahead to towards the future, creation, pioneering, doing something that is going to lead to a new way of looking at life. So again, Aries, you might be starting something this week, especially with Mercury going direct at the 21st degree. And the 21st degree in a Sabian symbol is known as like chance coincidences or chance things that happen. So there might be like someone that you talk to, or that your mental state might change this week, and you're a little bit more happier, or that you see the bigger picture of things. So it seems like lots of clarity, and also creating something, doing something better, or like going into a new field that you didn't really feel comfortable with in the first place. So this is a really happy card for the Aries. And again, the Aries are leading us. The Aries are really tasked with being an idol or an icon, or it could be even scary to be an Aries, obviously, because you can't really cheat off of anyone's test. Like you're doing all of the work yourself. Tauruses, and we get this for the Taurus. The world reversed. So this card can be about having too many options and nothing to settle from. The world is kind of like a scary card. It reminds me a lot of like Neptune, because you're just kind of floating in the air and wondering what will catch you. So when it's reversed, it's like extra confusing, or that there's more of an emphasis on anything can really happen this week. So you might feel very confused right now. You're just going with emotions. We have Mercury making a square to Uranus this week. Or no, sorry, on next the 6th of September, we will be having Mercury square Uranus, which is going to be affecting Tauruses, because there might be needing another pivot, especially within your home life or your security life, or that your living situation might be changing once more, or wherever you're calling home right now might be a little bit fluctuating or changing. And this might be why you feel a little bit uncertain, because of that Leo 4th house that you have. So there might be something that needs to be happening at this moment for you to feel grounded and secure, and that might not just be attainable for you. So this looks like a week of floating around and kind of just going with the wind, basically. We're going to pull for Geminis now. Okay, this is the card that I get for Gemini. Wands reversed. So this is like you had the plot, you missed the plot. So there might need to be a rerouting that needs to be happening, or that you are going to figure something out or find something out that might lead you to needing to pivot your plans. So just be flexible this week, especially when it comes to what you're passionate about. Like you might be really craving a sandwich, and then you go and get the sandwich and you're like, you know what, that does not sound appetizing at all. But then like you kind of like force yourself to get the sandwich because you don't know anything else or whatever. So this seems like you've lost the plot and you're not really sure where to go. I don't know if that example made sense. It's just something that came to my mind. Also, I'm looking at the wands. So this has to do with more passionate things and things that are constructive and creative. So we're thinking about materialistic things, or it can be about like you really wanted this shirt and then you go and get the shirt and you're like, should I return it? Should I not return it? So it looks like lots of uncertainty happening in your life right now, because you simply have lost what the meaning was. You've lost the meaning of something. This can also mean that you need to go into some sort of deep introspective work. I kind of suggest for the Gemini risings or Gemini sun moon rising to like maybe to watch a movie this week that really inspires you. So if you have a movie preference that you really enjoy, or if you have a favorite movie, maybe to watch that to get you back on track, or to make you realize something about this is why you do this thing and this is why it's important for you. We move on to Cancer. Ooh, okay. Not gonna lie, I think I've told you guys this before, but this card is usually about being the other woman or mistress or infidelity. So there might be some sort of infidelity happening within the relationship, or that there might be secrets being kept within a relationship this week. Things not really going as you want it to in relationships, because there might be secrets in the corners or lurking or gossiping or things that are not as moral. So there's a lot of immorality going on within your relationships at this moment. Pentacles have to do with the earth energy. So this can be feeling like you're very ungrounded at this moment, especially because you don't know the opinions of other people. You don't know if other people are being truthful or right for you. So this seems like a really a hectic week when it comes to basically secrets being told. So it looks like either you're going to be spreading a secret, or there's going to be gossip or slander coming around. And especially this might not be the best for you because this is a reversed card. So it might be slander or vitriol that is unnecessary, and even cheating or feeling like you're being cheated on, that's unnecessary. So there's a lots of unnecessary dark emotions, and you're also communicating this with another person. So you might be spreading lots of negativity onto another person that they necessarily didn't deserve. You might be starting an argument that is not really as necessary, especially when it has to do with money or finances. So avoid taking conflict this week when it comes to your word choices, especially when you're gossiping about another person, or you might even be presented to cheat on someone that you're with, and that might not be good for you, obviously. So yeah, that's kind of a harsher card. So I'm sorry, Cancers, whatever you're dealing with. Leo. Okay, Leo. Ooh, you guys are being stubborn this week, sticking to your guns. So there might be a plan, a project that you already put in place, and you're sticking to it, you're holding on to it, and you know that it's going to lead you to a really satisfying outcome. So this is major for the Leos because we've had a Mercury retrograde in the sign of Leo for a while now. Mercury has spent a lot of time in the sign of Leo, which means that our confidence in our words and saying what we mean and actually displaying what we are talking about is really incredibly significant. And the Leos are the one that's actually sticking towards it. So sticking to your word, doing whatever you said that you were going to do, and also making money from it. So you might have had a project in mind and you're sticking towards it, and you know that it's the right way. There's this sort of like knowing, the sort of possession happening right now. And it seems like you might even be like a king this week. Again, this is a regal card because it does have, well, it's not a regal card, but he has a crown on his head and he's taking action because he's wearing red. So there's lots of action being taken in a stable way, especially when it comes to having your resources being met or your safety being provided to. Let's move on to the Virgos. Virgo. Ooh, the Temperance reversed. So I think we got the Temperance card last week, but the Temperance reverse can be about you having a really misbalanced week. So there might be too much time and attention being focused on one thing and not really a lot of attention being focused on the other, because this is a card of harmony and balance. Usually when we see the Temperance card upright, we see someone who is really wise in their decision-making abilities and ability to kind of spread things out in a really harmonious way, or something that just like makes sense. Everything is really kind of together how it should be. Everything's really practical, especially when it comes to the flourishment of things together. So but when it's reversed, there's kind of like mayhem or chaos and things not really fitting in the right position, but you making it fit when it's really not supposed to be there. So there's this lack of using your intuition. So be careful this week because you might have to choose something else, even though that you wanted to choose this thing. So this looks like a kind of a difficult week for the Virgos. And again, Mercury is going very, very slow, and Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury's correct speed, or Mercury's usual speed, or its speed where it feels it's most comfortable at, is at like a faster pace. It moves about like 1 degree a day or something like that. So Mercury moves just as fast as the sun. Mercury likes to actually be tied to the sun because it wants to receive divine knowledge. And this week it's not, again, tied to the sun. There is a kind of a shift going on because it's stationing direct this week. So Virgos, you might have to have this sort of understanding that you're not going on the right path and that you have to switch up once again. Even though you're used to that, that's a part of your natal promise, is to kind of switch up your life from time to time and be okay with pivoting and making decisions on a fly. So this is going to be the week where that's kind of overtly seen, and you have to kind of be okay with imbalance this week, which might be hard for the Virgos because they seek for perfection and they seek to find flaws in things. So let's go to the Libras. Okay, Libra. Ooh, we get the Strength card reversed. So this can be about you not fulfilling a task So you could have been dropping something and, again, missing the plot, kind of like Gemini, your fellow air sign. But this can be about you losing control of something as well, or something just getting out of hand and you having to find your strength again. Again, Mercury is stationing direct, which means that there's a course correction or an understanding of something. And this is happening in your 12th house of the in your 11th house. So this can be about you correcting a way that you've been treating a friend or treating your allies or treating your supporters. So you might have to pivot and be like, you know what, I'm sorry. You have to say your wrongdoings or be a little bit more humble as well, because this is the card of humility for sure, and this is the card of like being humbled. So this is going to be a difficult week for you, but again, there's yellow here, so there is happiness, or there is some sort of comedic reprieve to be found. Also, it's a woman and her animal, so you might be tending to an animal this week, or that there might be an issue with an animal that you kind of have to go over and redo, or that there might be something missing, like you forgot to buy your dog the right sort of food, and then you replace the food, and then you're like, oh, I'm going to go back to get the right food or something like that. So you're correcting a mistake, and you're also being humbled at that same time. But you also might be feeling very lethargic this week as well, because strength reversed means that like there's not lots of strength to be found. So you might feel, again, physically weak as well. Scorpio. Ooh. I like this for the Scorpios. It's a darker card. Like, Scorpios are very dark, intense individuals. They take things to the extreme, but they are very pensive in nature and they think very deeply about things. The thing that I like about Scorpio is that they're able to get to the root cause of things, and they even like root stuff, you know, like root vegetables, sweet potatoes, mushrooms, things that have to do with death and decay. They're okay with talking about. They're usually going to experience more extreme emotions in this life. And so this is a card that deals with those things, but doing it in a very mature way and doing it in a way where it's actually very helpful to others. So someone might confide in you this week, or someone might try to find some sort of emotional retreat or refuge within you. So you might be a safe haven for someone, or someone might try to be into your world, or someone might even try to interrogate you in a way, but then you interrogate them. So it turns into like a therapy session. It also has to do with pentacles. So this might be a week of making money, or you're getting paid, or that you are dealing with a clientele practice that's a little bit more secretive. So yeah, this looks like a good week for the Scorpios. It's also very pious, and it's a very mature week as well. So you might be dealing with more mature concepts, and especially because Mercury is stationing direct in your 10th house, there can be a boss coming towards you, or more projects being available to you, or more success and communication and more fluid harmony going into your career space and your work with your career. Sagittarius, leaving behind an argument. That's basically what this means, is like moving on from an argument, moving on from an obstacle, which makes sense. Mercury is stationing direct. So you're moving on from a frustration or something that was a little bit annoying for you, or an irritation, some sort of obstacle or battle that was like belittling you or making you feel like you didn't win, or that you might actually win an argument by leaving it alone, by like having that nonchalant kind of cool attitude that Sagittarius have. So that might be something that you do this week, is just leaving something behind, leaving an argument, leaving an irritation, possibly even finishing a treatment or something like that as well. But this is an air card because it has to do with swords. So there's a more mental thing going on over here. You're more like inside of your mind. So this can be about like a mental issue being left behind, or you like moving on from some sort of self-esteem, self-confidence issue. It can be like a battle within yourself, because we were dealing with the Mercury retrograde, which is more of introspective energy, but this can also actually be with like an argument or something like that. So this week it seems like you're moving on. But it's not really like, I don't know, it seems like a positive moving on, because Mercury is stationing direct in your 9th house. And the 9th house is mainly about higher education, or it's about applying wisdom. So it seems like you've learned your lesson about where to apply wisdom and how you can actually utilize the wisdom that you have incorporated into your mental thinking capabilities. Let's go to the Caps. Capricorn, Queen of Cups reversed. This can be about you not showing your emotions or being a little bit unemotional, because Queen of Cups upright is a very okay with your emotions, or having some sort of creativity, or having something go your way in terms of emotions that like works out for you. So this might be about you like just being a cold-hearted bitch, basically. So you might be like a little bit of a rude person this week, or that you might not be interested in dealing with emotions, so you put it aside. Mercury is stationing direct in your 8th house of investments and the consequences of being in a relationship or the rebuttaling of a relationship. The 8th house is like the transactional house. So this week you might have to just focus on your money and making money, and also what other people can benefit you from. So you might have to assess a relationship and be like, is this actually working out for me? Is this actually good for me? Is this going to aid to my ability to reach my goals? So there has to be some sort of like reassessment, and you have to put aside your emotions. Let's move on to Aquarius. Ooh, King of Swords reversed. So many reversed cards, and it makes sense because Mercury is going direct this week. So there is that sort of going towards an area where you already know, but you're doing it with ease this time, and maybe a corrective state, because Mercury going over its shadow territory wants to re-know the land or wants to redo whatever it has done better. So this can be about you having an issue probably with like an older person, but more of like a mental issue or like a philosophical issue or a perspective issue. Like they see it this way and you see it this way. So there might be an incongruence with someone older than you. And this can also just mean that you aren't seeing the full picture, or that you have been blindsided by something. Mercury retrograde is a tough energy to work with, especially within the 7th house. An angular Mercury retrograde transit is arguably going to be a little bit more difficult because you're head on dealing with miscommunication, with not seeing things the right way, being too emotionally combative with logic and reason. Because when Mercury is retrograde, it's incredibly introspective. Mercury is also in a morning star phase, I'm pretty sure. Let me see. Yeah, Mercury is in a morning star phase, which means that the communication that you have been dealing with has been almost too direct, because morning is about like getting up and like seeing the sun. So people have been really loud and wrong, and you just have to kind of like let it go. This can also be about letting go of your power or letting go of some sort of control that you've had. So you might need to release control, especially within a relationship. You might have to let the other person lead and to see where their head is at. So this might be about you like figuring out that what you were going after maybe wasn't going after you, or that there's like an issue going on with a power imbalance, especially with an older person or someone that you look up to. Last but not least, we have Pisces. Oh, getting rest. So it seems like the Pisces have been having having an issue because Mercury retrograde in the 6th house of health, illness, wellness, day-to-day rituals, your eating habits, your exercise habits, your body, contortioning abilities, things like that. And there might be lots of like chatter going on in the inner world, and that has manifested of you having anxiety possibly. So this week might be about you just getting some rest, or just being asleep, or having some sort of rehabilitation, reprieve, and being a little bit more towards yourself and being reserved, especially when it comes to the mental energies that you have. So your mental state might have a relaxation given towards it, especially in the form of actual sleep and meditation, and entering a state of tranquility, because this person is obviously very tranquil. I just saw a fly. Again, Mercury is retrograde in my 12th house, so take that as you will. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys have an excellent week.